Bandeham Shigaro Shiyata Parakamalam Shigurun Vaishnavam Sya Shirupam Sagrajatam Saganaraganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shirana Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishikam Vitam Sya Omagyana Timaranda Shagyana Jana Shalakaya Chakshuram Milidam Yena Tasmai Shiguravenama Gorva Bistam Supurakam Gurganara Sesha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipunam Shirupa Patanugam Govinda Bidam Ujwalam Varatanum Bhaktian Vidam Sundaram Bande Vishwagurun Shah Divyat Bhagavad Prem Noe Bijapradam Devam Divyatanum Suchanda Varanam Balarka Chelan Sandrananda Puram Sareka Varanam Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Varam Bandetam Shubharam Mareka Sharanam Nyasishwara Shridaram Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavenibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad. This is Madhya-lila, chapter 9, Lord Chaitanya's travels to the holy places. So I'll begin with verse number 173. Eta bole tarata e agyaloya dakine chalila prabhu harashita haya. After talking in this way with Paramananda Puri, the Lord took his permission to leave and very pleased departed for southern India. Paramananda Puri tabe chale la nila chale Mahaprabhu chale chale Aila Sri Shaile. Thus Paramananda Puri started for Jagannath Puri and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began walking towards Sri Shaila. Shiva Durga Rohitahan Brahmanera Beshe Mahaprabhu Deke Dohara Hoila Ulase. In Sri Shaila, Lord Shiva and his wife Durga lived in the dress of Brahmins, and when they saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they became very pleased. Tindin Bikadila Koreni Mantran Nibrete Basi Gupta Varta Kohe Duijan. Lord Shiva, dressed like a Brahmin, gave alms to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and invited him to spend 3 days in a solitary place. Sitting there together, they talked very confidentially. Tara Sange Mahaprabhu Kori Ishtagoshti Tara Agya Loya Ailag Purig Kamakoshti. After talking with Lord Shiva, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his permission to leave and went to Kamalakoshti Puri. Dakine Mathura Aila Kamakoshti Hoite Tahandeka Hoila Egg Brahmana Sahite. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived at southern Mathura from Kamakoshti, he met a Brahmin. Se Vipra Mahaprabhu ke Koilani Mantran Rama Bhakta Se Vipra Virakta Mahajan. The Brahmin who met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu invited the Lord to his home. The Brahmin was a great devotee and an authority on Lord Sri Ramachandra. He was always detached from material activities. Kritamalaya snanakore aila taragare vikaki divena vipra paka nahi kore. After bathing in the river at Kritamala, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the Brahmin's house to take lunch, but he saw that the food was unprepared because the Brahmin had not cooked it. Mahaprabhu kohetare shuna mahashai madhyana hoila kene pakanahi hoy. Seeing that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "My dear sir, please tell me why you have not cooked. It is already noon." Viprakohe Prabhu Mora Aranye Vasati Pakara Samagri Bane Na Mile Samprati. The Brahmin replied, "My dear Lord, we are living in the forest. For the time being, we cannot get all the ingredients for cooking. Vanya, Shak, Phalam, Mula, Anibe, Lakman, Tabe Sita, Koribena, Paka Prayojan." When Lakshman brings all the vegetables, fruits, and roots from the forest, Sita will do the necessary cooking. Tara Upasana Shuni Prabhu Tushta Hoila Aste Bhyaste Se Vipra Randana Korila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very satisfied to hear about the Brahman's method of worship. Finally, the Brahman hastily made arrangements for cooking. Prabhu Bika Koila Diner Tritiya Prahare Nirbina Se Vipra Upavasa Kore. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his lunch at about 3 o'clock, but the Brahman, being very sorrowful, fasted. Prabhu Kohe Vipra Kahe Kora Upavas Kene Eta Duka Kene Koraha Utash. While the Brahman was fasting, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, "Why are you fasting? Why are you so unhappy? Why are you so worried?" Viprakohe Jivane Mor Nahi Prayojan Agni Jale Praveshya Chadiba Jivan. The Brahman replied, "I have no reason to live. I shall give up my life by entering either fire or water." Jaganmata Mahalakmi Shita Takorani Rakase Sparshila Tare Iha Kaneshuni. My dear sir, Mother Sita is the mother of the universe and the supreme goddess of fortune. She has been touched by the demon Ravana, and I am troubled upon hearing this news. E Sharira Daribare Kabuna Jujai E Duke Jwale Deho Prananahijai. Sir, due to my unhappiness, I cannot continue living. Although my body is burning, my life is not leaving. Prabhu Kohe E Bhavana Na Koriya Ar Pandita Hoya Kene Na Kora Bichar. Mahaprabhu replied, Please do not think this way any longer. You are a learned Pandit. Why don't you consider the case? Ishvara Prayase Shita Chidananda Murti Prakrita Indriyare Tare Dekite Nahi Shakti. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, Sita Devi, the dearmost wife of the Supreme Lord Ramachandra, certainly has a spiritual form full of bliss. No one can see her with material eyes, for no materialist has such power. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continues, Sita Devi, the dearmost wife of the Supreme Lord Ramachandra, certainly has a spiritual form full of bliss. No one can see her with material eyes, for no materialist has such power. Sparshivara Karya Achuka Napai Darshan Shitara Kriti Maya Harilavravan. To say nothing of touching Mother Sita, a person with material senses cannot even see her. When Ravana kidnapped her, he kidnapped only her material illusory form, like a Maya Sita, an imitation form of Sita. Ravana Sita Antardana Koila Ravanerage Maya Sita Pataila. As soon as Ravana arrived before Sita, she disappeared. Then, just to cheat Ravana, she sent an illusory material form. Aprakrita Vastu Nahe Prakrita Gochar Veda Puranete E Kohe Nirantar. Spiritual substance is never within the jurisdiction of the material conception. This is always the verdict of the Vedas and Puranas. Vishvasa kora tumi amara vachane punarape kubhavana na koriya mane. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then assured the Brahman, have faith in my words and do not burden your mind any longer with these misconceptions. Do not burn your mind any longer with this misconception. Prabhur vachane viprer hoila vishvas bhojana korila hoila jivanera ash. Although the Brahman was fasting, he had faith in the words of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and accepted food. In this way, his life was saved. Tare Ashvasiya Prabhu Korila Gaman Kritamalaya Snanakori Aila Darashan Tare Ashvasiya Prabhu Korila Gaman Kritamalaya Snanakori Aila Durvashan. After thus assuring the Brahman, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu proceeded further into southern India and finally arrived at Durvasasan, where he bathed in the river Kritamala, where he bathed in the river Kritamala. Presently, the Kritamala is known as the river Bagai or Vagai. This river has three tributes named Surali, Varahanadi, and Batila Gundu. The river Kritamala is also mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam by Karabhajana, by the sage Karabhajana. Durvashane Raghunate Koiladarashan Mahendra Shaile Parasuramer Koila Bandhan. At Durvasan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited the temple of Lord Ramachandra, and on the hill known as Mahendra Shaila, he saw Lord Parsuram. Setubande Ase Koila Danush Tirte Snan Rameshwara Deki Tahan Korila Vishram. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to Setubanda, or Rameshwar, where he took his bath at the place called Danush Tirtha. From there he visited the Rameshwar temple and took rest. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to Setubanda, Rameshwar, where he took his bath at the place called Danush Tirtha. From there, he visited the Rameshwar temple and then took rest. Mm-hmm. Vipra Savai Shune Taha Kurma Puran Taramadye Aila Pativrata Upakyan. There among the Brahmins, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu listened to the Kurma Purana, where it is mentioned the chaste woman's narration. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad remarks that only two khandas of the Kurma Purana are now available, namely the Purva Khanda and Uttara Khanda. Sometimes it is said that the Kurma Purana contains 6,000 verses, but according to Srimad Bhagavatam, the original Kurma Purana contains 17,000 verses. It is considered the 15th of the 18 Mahapuranas. Pativrata Shiromani Janaka Nandini Jagatera Mata Shita Ramara Grihini. Srimati Sita Devi is the mother of the three worlds and the wife of Lord Ramachandra. Among chaste women, she is supreme, and she is the daughter of King Janaka. Ravana Dekiya Sita Loila Agnira Sharan Ravana Hoite Agni Koila Sita Ke Avaran. When Ravana came to kidnap Mother Sita and she saw him, she took shelter of the fire god Agni. The fire god covered the body of Mother Sita, and in this way she was protected from the hands of Ravana. Maya Sita Ravana Nila Shunila Akyane Shuni Mahaprabhu Hoila Anandita Mane. Upon hearing from the Kurma Purana how Ravana had kidnapped a false form of Mother Sita, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very satisfied. Sita Loya Raki Lena Parvatirastane Maya Sita Di Agni Banshila Ravane. The fire god Agni took away the real Sita and brought her to the place of Parvati, goddess Durga. An illusory form of Mother Sita an illusory form of Mother Sita was then delivered to Ravana. In this way, Ravana was cheated. Raghunatha Jabe Ravane Marila Agni Parikadite Jabe Sitara Anila. After Ravana was killed by Lord Ramachandra, Sita Devi was brought before the fire and tested. Tabe Maya Sita Agni Kori Antardan Satya Sita Ane Dila Rama Vidyaman. When the illusory Sita was brought before the fire by Lord Ramachandra, the fire god made the illusory form disappear and delivered the real Sita to Lord Ramachandra. Shunya Prabhur Anandita Hoilaman Brahmadas Viprer Kashta Hoila Samaran. Shunya Prabhur Anandita Hoilaman Ramadas Viprer Kata Hoila Smaran. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard the story, he was very pleased, and he remembered the words of Ramadas Vipra. Esab Siddhanta Shuni Prabhurananda Hoila Brahmanera Stani Magi Se Patra Nila. Indeed, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard these conclusive statements from the Kurma Purana, he felt great happiness. After asking the Brahman's permission, he took possession of the manuscript leaves of the Kurma Purana. Nutana Patra Lekaya Pushtake Deo Jaila Pratiti Lagi Purata. Let's see. Nutana Patra Lukaya Pushtake Deo Jaila Pratiti Lagi Puratana Patra Magi Nila. Since the Kurma Purana was very old, the manuscript was also very old. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took possession of the original leaves in order to have direct evidence. The text was copied onto new leaves in order that the Purana be replaced. Patraloya Punadakina Mathura Aila Ramadas Vipre Se Patrani Dila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then returned to southern Madurai, and delivered the original manuscript of the Kurma Purana to Ramadas Vipra. Sita ya radita vanis chaya sitam aji jayanat tam jahara dasha griva shitabani puram gyata parika samaye vanim chaya sita viveshasa vani sitam samaniya tatpara Tatpurastad Aninayat. When he was petitioned by Mother Sita, the fire god, Agni brought forth an illusory form of Sita, and Ravana, who had 10 heads, kidnapped the false Sita. The original Sita then went to the abode of the fire god. When Lord Ramachandra tested the body of Sita, it was the false illusory Sita that entered the fire. At that time, the fire god brought the original Sita from his abode and delivered her to Lord Ramachandra. So, to delude Ravana, a false form of Sita was called Maya Sita, was presented, and that was the form he kidnapped, but that was not the real Sita, and that's mentioned in the Korma Purana. Patrapaya Viprer Hoila Nandita Man Prabhupada Chanane Dori Koraye Krandan. Ramadas Vipra was very pleased to receive the original leaf manuscript of the Korma Purana, and he immediately fell down before the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and began to cry because he was overwhelmed with sorrow, thinking that Sita had been touched by Ravana, that he had kidnapped her. But when Mahaprabhu showed him the manuscript from the Korma Purana, the original Korma Purana, then that Brahman, he was very satisfied because he no longer was lamenting that Sita had been touched by Ravana, because he knew that Ravana had been cheated with a false form of Sita. Viprakohe tumisakat Sri Raghunandan Sanyasera Veshe More Dila Darashan. After receiving the manuscript, the Brahmin, very pleased, said, "Sir, you are Lord Ramachandra himself, and have come in the dress of a sannyasi to give me your darshan. Mahaduka hoite more korela nishtar, ache more gare bitka kora angikar." My dear sir, you have delivered me from a very unhappy condition. I request that you take your lunch at my place. Please accept this invitation. Manoduke balobika nadila se dine morabagye punarape pailun darshane. Due to my mental distress, I could not give you a very nice lunch the other day. Now, by good fortune, you have come again to my home. Eta bole se vipra suke pak koila utama prakare prabhuke bika koraila. Saying this, the Brahmin very happily cooked food, and a first-class dinner was offered to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Se ratri tahan rahe tare kripa kori pandya deshe tamraparni gela gorahari. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed that night in the home of the Brahmin. Then, after showing him mercy, the Lord started toward the Tamaraparni river in Pandyadesh. So Mahaprabhu passed that night in the house of the Brahmin. Then, after showing him mercy, the Lord started toward the Tamraparni river in Pandyadesh. Pandyadesh is situated in the southern part of India, known as Kerala and Chola. Okay. Tamraparni snanakori, Tamraparni tire, Raya Tripati deki bule kutuhole. There were 9 temples of Lord Vishnu at Naya Tiru. There were 9 temples of Lord Vishnu at Naya Tripati on the bank of the river Tamraparni. And after bathing in the river, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the deities with great curiosity and wandered on. Chiya Dattala Tirte Deki Shri Ramalatman Tilakanchi Ashikoila Shiva Darashan. After this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to a holy place known as Chiyadatala, where he saw the deities of the two brothers, Lord Ramachandra and Lakshman. He then proceeded to Tilakanchi, where he saw the temple of Lord Shiva. Gajendra Mokshana Tirte Deki Vishnu Murti Panagari Tirte Ashi Dekila Shitapati. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then visited the holy place named Gajendra Mokshan, where he went to a village of Lord Vishnu. He then came to Panagadi, a holy place where he saw the deities of Lord Ramachandra and Sita. Chamtapure Yashideki, Sri Rama Lakman, Sri Vaikunte Ashi, Koila Vishnu Dhanashan. Later the Lord went to Chamtapur, where he saw the deities of Lord Ramachandra and Lakshman. He then went to Sri Vaikunta and saw the temple of Lord Vishnu there. Malaya Parvate Koila Agastya Bandan Kanya Kumari Tahan Koila Dharashan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to Malaya Parvata, and after passing, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to Malaya Parvat and offered prayers to Agastya Muni. He then visited Kanyakumari, Cape Comorin. Amlitalaya Deki Sri Ramagorahari Malara Desheti Aila Jatabata Tari. After visiting Kanyakumari, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Amlitala, where he saw the deity of Sri Ramachandra. Therefore, he went to a place. Thereafter, he went to a place known as Malara Desh, where a community of Bhattataris lived. Okay. Tamala Kartika Deki Aila Vetamani. Tamala Kartika Deki Aila Vetapani Raghunatha Deki Tahan Vanshila Rajani. After visiting Malara Desh, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Tamala Kartik and then to Vetapani. There he saw the temple of Raghunath, Lord Ramachandra, and passed the night. Gosaira Sangero He Krishnadas Brahman Bhattatari Sahatahan Hoiladarashan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was accompanied by his servant Krishnadas. He was a Brahmin, but he met with the Bhattataris there. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was accompanied by his servant Krishnadas. He was a Brahmin, but he met with the Bhattataris there. The Bhattataris are like nomads. Okay. Stridana Dekaya Tara Loba Janmaila Arya Surala Viprar Buddhi Nashakoila. With women, the Bhattataris alured the Brahmin Krishnadas, who was also simple and gentle. With women, the Bhattataris alured the Brahmin Krishnadas, who was simple and gentle. By virtue of their bad association, they polluted his intelligence. Prate uti aila vipra batere garan. With women, the Bhattataris allured the Brahmin Krishnadas, who was simple and gentle. By virtue of their bad association, they polluted his intelligence. Pratyuti aila vipra Bhattatari gare tahara udeshe Prabhu aila satvare. Allured by the Bhattataris, Krishnadas went to their place early in the morning. The Lord also went there very quickly just to find him. Asiya kohen sa Bhattatari gane amara brahmana tumi rakaki karane. Upon reaching their community, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked the Bhattataris, "Why are you keeping my Brahman assistant? Amiya sannyasi deka, tumiya sannyasi, mare dukkha deho tama tomara nyaya nahibasi." I'm in the renounced order of life, and so are you. Yet you are purposefully giving me pain, and I do not see any good logic in this. So Mahaprabhu says he's also in part flattering me because they're not behaving like Brahmins or renunciants. Their conception is mundane. I am in the renounced order of life, and so are you. Yet you are purposefully giving me pain, and I do not see any good logic in this. So he's saying to the Bhattataris, who present themselves as renounced, but Mahaprabhu said, "Why are you? I'm a renunciant, and so are you. So why are you more or less kidnapping my servant?" Shuni sab Bhattatari ute astraloya Marivari Aila Sabe Charidike Daya. Upon hearing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the Bhattataris came running from all sides with weapons in their hands, desiring to hurt the Lord. Tara astra tara ange pare hata hoite kanda tara astra tara ange Pure hata hoite kanda hoila Bhattatari polaya gat padaya charibite tara astra tara ange pare hata hoite kanda hoila Bhattatari polaya charibite. However, their weapons fell from their hands and struck their own bodies. When some of the Bhattataris were thus cut to pieces, the others ran away in the four directions. Bhattatari gare maha utila krandan keshe duri vipre loya korila gaman. While there was much roaring and crying at the Bhattatari community, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu grabbed Krishnadas by the hair and took him away. Say Deen Shali Aila Payasvini Tire Snanakorigela Adi Keshava Mandire. That very night, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his assistant, Krishnadas, arrived at the bank of the Payasvini River. They took their bath and then went to see the temple of Adi Keshava. Keshava Dekiya Preme Avishta Hoila Nati Stuti Nritya Gita Bahuta Korila. When the Lord saw the Adi Keshava temple, he was immediately overwhelmed with ecstasy. Offering various obeisances and prayers, he chanted and chanted. When the Lord saw the Adi Keshava temple, he was immediately overwhelmed with ecstasy. Offering various obeisances and prayers, he chanted and danced. Premadeki loke hoila maha chamatkar sarva lok hoila prabhura parama satkar. All the people there were greatly astonished to see the ecstatic pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They all received the Lord very well. So I'm going to continue tomorrow from this point. Now, let's sing Hari Harai. Hariharaya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Hariharaya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Jaravaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Jaravaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Maranaman Giridhari Gopinatha Maranaman Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Janardan Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Janardan Shiva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunan Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunan Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Rasa Raghunan Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Rasa Raghunan Hey Jai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Hey Jai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Jai Te Vignana Shavishta Puran Jai Te Vignana Shavishta Puran Hey Jai Gosai Jar Mui Charadas Hey Jai Gosai Jar Mui Charadas Dasabar Pada Renu Mora Panchagram Dasabar Pada Renu Mora Panchagram Kare Charana Sevi Bhatta Saniban Kare Charana Sevi Bhatta Saniban Janame More Abilas Janame More Abilas Hey Jai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilaban Hey Jai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilaban Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pare Majai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pare Majai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyan Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naradamudan Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naradamudan Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridharaju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Charyashta Tarasara Shishi Mad Srila Bhakti Tilak Neri Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Charyashta Tarasara Shishi Mad Srila Bhakti Nirmawacharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Charyashta Tarasara Shishi Mad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Charyashta Tarasara Shishi Mad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Ragana Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Ragana Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Premasigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Vishvavarenya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Kusham Ashram Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj Ki Jai.